Hello and welcome back. A recap of the last video. We had this green car added and it is driving backwards right now, but that's totally irrelevant. We're going to change the appearance of that car later on, but for now it drives backwards. But in any game, we have to have a conflict. And in this game here, our conflict is cat versus car, or water for that matter when we get up there. But for now, we're going to build an interaction between the car and the cat. So if you recall from our earlier videos, we used this forever loop to test the condition of position for the car, which caused it to go back to the original starting spot. For this one, we're going to build an if statement to check to see if the cat touches the car. And luckily, there's a block for that. If cat is touching in the sensing, touching convertible, it's going to go back to its original spot, which I'm just going to duplicate here. So you have a cat, he goes up, and boop, he gets hit by the car, and he goes back to the start. Now, that's fun and all, but where's the squished cat? That's the question. So the main purpose of this video is not this if statement, but we are going to build an animation of the cat's demise. So we are going to change the costume. See up here we have all the code, and here's the appearances of our sprites. We don't need a second one here that looks like that. We need this one. So here's our original one. It is a normal looking cat. This is for these tutorials. The way the cat plays is just going to look like this. There's lots of things you can do with this costume and make the game more animated. We're keeping it simple here. So, but in order to build our sort of death sequence, we'll call it, I need to duplicate this sprite, and then I'm just going to change this one around. So for now, I'm just going to squish this up. And it's important to note that in this version of Scratch, you can closely see, you can see there's a little plus sign in there. Make sure it stays right in the middle. There's that circle right there. Put it right in there. Okay. And then I'm going to add a little bit of color. This cat is going to have some red blood. Like that. And then I'm going to duplicate that and another one. Let's turn this into like a skull and crossbones here. So let's change our red to black. And you can see my horrible art skills here. And just duplicating over and over again. Oh, I shouldn't have closed that one off down there. Oh, that's a better one. There we go. Close all these off, and maybe I'll make one more. I'm going to fill it in here. Boop, 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 boop. Well, I don't want that. Oh well, that's what we're going to leave it at. Just like that. So now I have 7 different costumes that you can see if I play through here, it will be, well, it's not very good, but whatever. It's going to be some sort of animation. All right. So back to the code, we have that if touching the convertible, it goes back to the start. But what I want it to do before it goes back to the start is I want it to flick through these costumes. So there's a bit of an animation to it. So I have seven total costumes. So I'm going to put in a repeat block here. Put that down there. Repeat 7 times. Next costume. So that if I crash into the convertible, bloop, it goes through it. Bloop, you can see it rotating all the way through. It goes really fast. So we're going to put in a very short wait block of like 0.1 seconds. So that, oh, that black is terrible. Oh, you can't see it on the road. Oh well, we'll fix that. You can see now that there's a bit of an animation running through, but my color is horrible. So I don't know what we're going to do with that. Maybe I'll just change the color of all of this. I'm holding down the select button to get all these pieces, and I'm just going to change it to red. Hold down shift, shift, shift. Change it to red. Down shift, 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 and change it to red. All right, let's see what happens. Oh well, here's a good opportunity to learn here. We should see how the costume is stuck on in the middle. What we should do is, to ensure that our game always starts correctly, we should start with a switch to costume number 1 in there, so it always starts here, and then when it crashes in there, there's our animation. Looks pretty good. All right, but then you ask yourself, he doesn't die when he touches the green car. Let's fix that. So the easiest way, not the best way, the easiest way to do it is to duplicate this. There's 2 of those. Change that to convertible 2. Now it's going to do the same thing, but in programming you want to keep your code as dry as possible. Dry representing DRY. Don't repeat yourself. So we don't have to use all of this. We can use this and add to this. So I throw away all these extra blocks, and in the operators we can use this OR block, which joins the 2 together and has our Boolean operator here of OR, that if it's touching the convertible or convertible 2, it will run that, which does the exact same thing as all that extra code. And having that is going to save us dozens and dozens of lines in the future when we have our cat dying in the water, which frankly makes way more sense than frogs dying when they touch the water. But anyway, we'll get to that in a moment on our next video.